Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalren, and today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about one of the coolest mechanics coming up that is out there right now in 7.1.5. With a lot of the changes to classes, some positive, some negative, they are also bringing in an opportunity, Blizzard are bringing in an opportunity for you to be able to level your ults and play your ults and maybe even replace your mains. They're talking about artifact mechanic catch-up. So right now, the current artifact power catch-up they have in the game currently is your very first tune that you get to level 110 usually has to wait about 5 days or so to get the artifact power and artifact knowledge up and running. So you are going to be ahead of the competition still. Your second tune, however, will have to wait every 3 days or so in order to get a trait into the artifact power. And what I'm talking about particularly is the percentage, the artifact knowledge, which increases how much artifact power you gain every time you get artifact power, whether it's from battlegrounds, dungeons, or world quests, which is probably the best way of going about it. So what they are doing is they're allowing ults in 7.1.5 as far as we see it, and most likely they're going to stick with it to have a catch-up mechanic. So what we'll do is it'll give you a synopsis. What is the synopsis? Well, first of all, let's talk a little bit about what the original catch-up mechanic is. So for example, Rogue class order hall, you go down the stairs, and every class order hall has this. You have your Archivist. So the Archivist allows you to trade up order resources, 500 of them, to research artifact power. But when you do trade them in, you have to wait. For me, with this character, for some reason, it is 3 days. On the live servers, it will be 5 days though. So you have to wait a good while in order to pick up your artifact knowledge and increase how much artifact power you gain as you level and as you progress your character in Legion. But what they're doing to help the catch-up mechanic is, since everybody is so far ahead, waiting for your artifact knowledge to go from level 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 and so on while you're collecting artifact power obviously takes a little bit too long. And in some cases, no matter the nerfs or buff to your class, if you, let's say you have a particular PvP group that you play with already, a particular raid group that you play with already, and let's say Blizzard has done a nerf or a buff and done something that you don't really quite like about that character, that class, all you can really do with the current mechanic is just swap to a spec that's viable and hope something works. But if you're really that frustrated, you can completely reload the character, although it'll be a pain in the ass. What Blizzard is trying to do is make that pain in the ass as least painful as possible. So what we'll do is there's currently no NPC right now on the PTR that allows you to do this, but it'll be an NPC a lot like an Archivist. The Archivist will allow you to trade in 500 artifact power, not for a wait time to get your artifact knowledge, but simply hands you the artifact knowledge at the cost of your order resources. I guess one of the best examples of this would be like the Rogue Order Hall NPC that allows you to get one of the lucky coins for a trade-in of artifact power, and I'm going to walk over to him momentarily. And that's basically it. You simply trade out a hell of a lot of artifact power and talk to the NPC, and he gives you the coin. But instead, he'll give you the tome. So you'll be able to purchase these tomes up to level 15. Currently, my rogue is at level 16. I've been keeping up with the artifact knowledge as often as I can, and most of the players that are ahead of the competition and I'm currently like at the maximum knowledge are currently at 16. I don't think there's anybody out there that's currently at level 17, although that would be interesting to see. So at level 16 right now, currently, I am gaining about 3,600 extra percent of artifact power from any source of artifact power that I gain. Example, again, talking back to the NPC, normally on PTR you're not able to, but normally you'll be able to talk to him, give him order resources, and he'll hand you a coin. Here will be a tome. Now, why am I telling you all this? Why am I making a video on the artifact power? Well, I want to give you guys some of the different ideas and some of the different reasons to level a character, and where should you keep that character, when you should start playing that character, and what is the best way to get yourself some order resources in order to get your character caught up. With patch 7.1.5, some controversial things are happening. If you guys have been following my channel, which is a primarily Rogue channel, I've voiced my, I think I said my piece on everything Rogue related. All we can do is wait for Blizzard to see what happens. But let's say there's been changes done to the game, and you might not agree with the developers, you might not agree with how your class is currently played, you might not agree with some of the buffs or even nerfs that are happening, or simply want to try something new. But Legion is the kind of expansion that is a little bit more punishing for somebody who has ult. I don't mean punishing as in like it actually hurts you, but you're not able to be ahead of the competition and not able to stay ahead and participate in all the events. Currently, if you have a main character and you invest all your time into that main character, that means you're getting more artifact power points spent. That means you're able to get all those main artifact power points and start working on your extra passives for a flat 5% damage increase or healing increase or tanking increase of sorts. You are getting the best relics for PvE. You might not even be able to get yourself enough item level in order to PvP. So everybody who is really just putting a lot of time on their main character is, I would say, in some cases, miles ahead of everybody else that has ults. Because when you have a bunch of ults, you have to level all the artifact knowledge separately, you have to get the artifact power separately. You're not really able to ever develop one character that is, I guess, the strongest in this expansion currently. But with this new system, Blizzard will allow you to be able to have ults and be able to have ults catch up to that same level. It won't make it easier for you to manage all the ults, but instead of starting at level 1, you'll be starting at level 15, granted if you have enough of the resources. And if the patch comes out and there's some changes you don't like and you simply want to replace your character, Blizzard is making it that much easier. It still is going to be a little bit of time, and you still are going to be behind by the time patch 7.1.5 is out, because currently we're at level 16, and a couple more days I'll be level 17, and 5 more days afterwards I'll be level 18 on artifact knowledge. So people might be around, depends when the patch comes out, could be in their level 20s or so. I don't even know how far the artifact knowledge goes, to be honest, but they'll be above 15 for certain, maybe 15, 17 for sure. So you will still have to, catch up to everybody else on that level, but at least you won't have to start all the way at level 1. You will be able to start at level 15, start getting artifact power, start getting a bunch of points as you do world quests and dungeons, as you're gearing yourself as well. You'll be able to basically catch up as soon as humanly possible, which is an awesome thing. And if you are again swapping tunes, it'll just be that much easier. Main question is, how do you do it? So what you will be able to do, what we have confirmation of, you'll be able to take your order resources that your character has collected while he was leveling, and be able to trade those 500 a pop for a single tome to get your artifact rank up. So you'll be able to trade 500 per one rank of knowledge. So it'll take you about 7,500 overall of order resources just to get your level to level 15. What I want to offer you in this video are some of these strategies in order to go about this. If you are willing and want to have an ult that is fully functional, almost as functional as your main, or get as close to functional where you can actually play him in dungeons, raids, and PvP. Especially in PvP, I feel like this is very helpful because of the way item level works and the artifact knowledge works and all that jazz. So basically, I want to offer you some of the strategies in order to go about doing so. So I feel like if you are leveling a character right now, or if you're planning on leveling a character, I think you should start leveling either incrementally, because we don't really know when patch 7.1.5 drops really, but start leveling them, and as soon as you hit max level, kind of just wait, because there's no real point to spend anything. If anything, you could just farm up a bunch of order resources and maybe even gear, but it'll be difficult if you're not really putting that much effort into your artifact weapon. But I feel like the best thing to do is just wait. The biggest issue with that is, because of the artifact knowledge, you'll only be able to buy up to level 15. So if you start getting artifact knowledge now, you will be able to, I guess, spend less order resources, but you're not getting the full value out of the character. In my thoughts, once the patch 7.1.5 comes out, you want to buy up all 15 and then start 2 artifact knowledges. So you buy up 15 and you have 16 and 17 already on the way, ready to go for your character to get. After however many days, they might even reduce it down to 1 day, so you'll be able to catch up that much faster. So you kind of want to skip all those 15 and get the most value out of it, so you can get 15, then 16 and 17 already on the table, ready and already in the process to get you to your character in order to upgrade yourself. And I feel like that'll be the most value that you'll be able to get out of that character. So the best way of going about it is you will need to get a hell of a lot of order resources. So granted, as you are doing everything in your character, there's a lot of things that go into order resources. You'll have to use it through class quests in order to get little different benefits. Like for example, I have Defias Thieves, where I have like an extra stack of Defias Thieves, an extra stack of pirates for your order missions and everything. So you have to get through those. And for the most part, you could do those while you're waiting on your character. But you definitely shouldn't be doing too much with your artifact power, artifact resources to begin with. And you should be farming up basically as much of order resources possible. By the time you hit level 110, you'll have a decent amount, but you'll still want to get it if you are actually planning on playing that character, because you'll want other different benefits of your order resource, order halls, different perks that it offers you, as it offers you two different options, and they end up costing a lot of resources. Like for example, it's about 15 to 70,000, one of those numbers, just to have a secondary legendary slot, and maybe they will open a third legendary slot in the future. We're not sure if they will do it in the future, but it's always good to save up a little bit of order resources. So you are going to need at least 7,500 just for your knowledge, so you can upgrade your knowledge for your weapon, but you also need more for extra order hall stuff. So what is the best thing to do with your character? So we already established once you get to level max 110 is basically just stop, wait until the patch drops, and then get all your order resources. While you are waiting though, you can collect a bunch of order resources so that you have a plenty amount of them in order to be able to execute everything day one patch 7.1.5 goes on, so you can kickstart your character and start developing characters, start running dungeons, start running world quests, and start really truly gearing up and progressing your character from get-go. One of the other ways of getting order resources is with the Blood Trader. Ever since patch 7.1, they added Bloods of Surgeris, and this is what I noticed in Bloods of Surgeris. When you talk to the NPC, one of the things she offers you is actually order resources. There's an order resource cache that offers you about 200 order resources. This is what I use so I can get the perk, so I can have a second legendary. My character currently does not have a second legendary, but I was able to spend most of my bloods, which if you've been playing the game for a while, and there's some even world quests, and there's some order hall quests that give you bloods, you can farm those up little by little, just incrementally, just for a little bit here and there. Doesn't even take that much time. Collect as many of those as you can so you can have even a bigger influx of order resources. So whether you do world quests or whether you do the bloods, you end up collecting a lot of those bloods. And I remember during patch 7.0.3, like the very first patch that came out with Legion, I collected over 200 bloods, and I had nothing to do with them. So once the Blood Trader dropped, I bought a ton of order resources, got all my perks for my class hall, and I was sitting pretty afterwards. So I feel that if you are going to be developing your character, you will want a lot of order resources, so you want to save up a lot of bloods, so then you could easily just trade them 200 order resources for a single blood. Although it's an item, and you have to right click it, and you have to, now you get order resources. It's a little bit weird, a transition where you get it, you accept it, it gets added. It'll take a little bit of time, but I think is the best and the most functional way to get your character up and running. What I'm trying to offer you guys in this video is probably the best, the most functional, and the most practical way to get your character up and running. So when 7.1 drops and you have plenty of order resources and plenty of bloods that you can trade for order resources, as soon as the patch drops, you can get your level 15 research, you can get 2 more levels of research in queue, and you can start leveling your character, start doing the world quest, because you don't really gain the extra artifact power until after you get your world quest for research. So after you get your research done to level 15, then you want to start collecting artifact power, because only then will the percentage be increased, and you'll get it so fast that you'll be able to get at least a single trait, maybe even 2 at level 15. It's actually very quick and just insanely fast and insanely easy, especially after doing maybe like a whole layer of world quests for your character. And this is especially if you're going to be swapping a character, because then you'll basically be dedicating a lot of time to this character. And after you get your artifact power, for the most part, it is fairly easy to get gear. And in my experience, I've had an alt rogue, no guild, no nothing, no support, simply by doing world quests and doing dungeons. World quests offer you a lot of gear, and the more gear you collect, the better the gear that offers you for world quests. Then we also have world bosses spawning. We also have the order hall, which offers you gear, and if you collect a lot of order resources as you're doing, you'll be able to upgrade those pieces to something of 830, and then your world quest change and they offer you more gear, and it's kind of like a snowball effect. So hopefully this video was somewhat helpful for you guys if you are strategizing in order to get yourself. So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys if you are trying to develop a strategy in case you want to play an alt or completely replace your main. With 7.1.5 coming out, there are a lot of changes coming out to the game, and if you're one of those that just is not happy with some of the changes coming out by Blizzard, then you can simply just play another class, whether you're bored of the one you have right now or you're not sure if you're okay with the way the game is going concerning your class. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if you found it helpful at all. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts from you guys, and this is just something that I'll probably be doing with some of my alts. I want to give it a try, see if I can get some other alt to level 110, farm up bunch of order resources to see how fast it is to level up an ult. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.